Continue with the Arab Spring, as you've mentioned. It started from Tunisia, then spread to Egypt, and then to Libya, and now we're talking about Syria. Today you gave a press conference, which I followed as well. You call an emergent end to the bloodshed in Syria, and the Arab League has been pressing Syria. How do you evaluate first Arab League's stance? Because we've never seen Arab League as a union before. They've never raised as a one sound, but this is the first time we've seen they're pressing Syria. How do you see it?
The position expressed by the Arab League is extremely important because it is a regional organization which is considering in political terms what is going on in Syria and the other parts of this region. And in doing so, it has a sincere and a strong concern about the condition of the population, the condition of human rights, freedom, the possibility really of participation of different political parties to the management and to the government of a country. So I think it is the action, the diplomatic initiative that the Arab League is carrying on, and unfortunately...
Do you believe that the Damascus administration, if not follow the Arab League calls, let's say, lost its legitimacy and the president Bashar Assad must leave?
We believe that there is a loss in legitimacy in the present regime, really a very serious loss of legitimacy that has been pinpointed by the European Union, and they would like to refer to the sanctions which have been undertaken with the full participation of my government on 14th of November.
You said, as for Syria, you said, as for Italy and on behalf of the maybe European Union, since you're a member of, you want an end to this bloodshed and President Assad to translate the reforms into life as soon as possible. But we've heard such messages before declaring no-fly zone over Libya. Would there be any similarities between Libya and Syria in the, let's say, long term?
I don't think that there is a model, there is a precedent. It is a completely different situation, and it is very clear that the track now on Syria is a diplomatic one. The sense of isolating, showing the regime, the international community acts with determination in a very clear direction. The direction was, as I say again, stated by the European Union homogeneously and by consensus on the 14th of November, and this is the track to take. We would like also to provide every possible support.
You're talking about support to the Syrian population, but you're also talking about imposing more sanctions to Syria, which will directly, in the middle term, let's say, the Syrian people. How do you justify that?
We are never very keen of imposing sanctions. This is a tradition of my country of being very sensitive to the possibility that the population are affected. And in fact, we try always, when we are involved in a sanctional decision, to target measures which are particularly important for the regime or for individuals and so on, and that has been really...
Will you ever, as Italy, will you ever consider intervention, international intervention?
I couldn't speak for what could happen in the future far ahead. I can tell you that now it seems to me that there are many political tools that can be used. One of them is a strong support of the Syrian National Council. We have had contacts with them. I intend to pursue that road of talking and establishing a good relationship. It is important that the Council becomes really inclusive of the whole forces, political forces.
So if we get back to the Arab Spring, let's say, because you have very historic ties with Libya and you had very important economic ties with that country as well. After Gaddafi was thrown, how do you see Gaddafi's death, first of all?
We believe that there is a loss in legitimacy in the present regime, really a very serious loss of legitimacy that has been pinpointed by the European Union, and they would like to refer to the sanctions which have been undertaken with the full participation of my government on 14th of November, and the designation of a number of individuals that we consider exposed and responsible for what is going on.
From the Libyan cabinet you mentioned, of course, you're getting in touch with those, but even Gaddafi's body was not shared within the different tribes in Libya. We do not see a unified Libya at all. We just see a one administration, which is doubtfully maybe is representing whole of Libya. How do you see Libya's future? Was it better before and now it is getting worse, or is it going to get better? Are you hopeful about Libya's future? How do you see?
We are quite convinced that Libya is following the right track, is developing in the right direction. There is a sense of inclusiveness also in the formation of this new government. That's for sure. For a foreign observer, there is the impression there are things that need to be adjusted, but this is up to the Libyans. Is their own policies, their own country.
The European Union, how do you see the Union's current status given the economic crisis, given Greece and France and Germany's leadership role and Italy's current situation? What could you say about that?
At the economic level, there's no doubt that the Union is facing a crisis which has not started within the Union. It is a global financial crisis which has been developing over the last 3 years and now has impacted heavily also on the European Union, especially in the Eurozone. But I believe that also the history of the latest European Council has shown that there is a visible and strong capacity to react. And that has been true for the Union in many other cases and for Europeans in general in the last 60 years under duress. We Europeans, have been able to find the right solution. I'm not talking about general concepts, but I believe that what has been developing in Brussels, although there are the constraints for fluctuation in the markets, the spreads on to find the solution to our economic problems through the European Union and not the other way.
Today you've been forced to pay a record interest rate in a 10 billion euros auction of treasury bills. This is a record, and you're going to sell bonds on Tuesday as well. Will this new government, which you're a part of, put Italy's economy back on track?
The government is going to put the Italian economy back on track. I would not be over-impressed by the fluctuation by the hour or by the day, given the fact that the treasury markets, the treasury bond markets, have shown a lot of surprises also for the other even strongest European countries.
And as for the Turkey and Italy relations, you've been always supportive with Turkey's European Union bid. That hasn't changed. Will it change? I'm not sure.
Absolutely not. It will remain there. Our support is firm, determined. We continue to work with our other partners to try to move things ahead. I understand that there are open questions which need to be improved and resolved, but I assured Foreign Minister Davutoglu that this is the position of myself as Minister of Foreign Affairs and of the Italian government.